Hi everyone, it's Stacy with the Stacy Jewel Foundation, and today we are going to talk about effective forecasting. Do you know what that is? You ready to have a seat on the couch? All right, let's do it. Okay, so what is effective forecasting? Effective forecasting is a process of predicting how future events will affect our emotional state. So, in a sense, it is determining if you're going to something and how that is going to affect your mentality in reality. So, a lot of people think that just showing up to things is no big deal, but when you put yourself in rooms with people, you deal with their energy, you deal with their vibes, you deal with their karma. And so a lot of people may think, oh, that's just simple and it is what it is, and everybody has their own karma and their own actions that determine their future. But if you really sit down and think about it, when you meet with people, you are exchanging vibes, you're exchanging energy. You can be on the highest of high and then meet somebody at the lowest of low and then get to talking, and you can change energy. Now you're feeling some kind of way and they're feeling very good and energetic. So when you think about events and people in your life, you have to think of that connection. You have to think about how you guys are interacting and what you are bringing with you and what you are giving away. Effective forecasting basically determines what you feel is going to happen before it actually happens. So, for example, let's just say you are like, I do not ever want to go to Becky's house because every time I go to Becky's house, we have a conversation, I get frustrated and I'm angry and we don't speak for 2 weeks. So you're forecasting prior to even going to Becky's house that you're going to have a negative impact. You're going to have a negative vibe. You're going to have a negative experience. So you determine whether, with all that in mind, if you're going to go or not. Effective forecasting is a great way to determine where you need to be and what energy and vibes you're going to get. It could be anything. It could be special engagements. It could be speaking opportunities. It could be hanging out with friends. It could be hanging out with family. It could be meeting up with new people. It could be meeting up with old people. It could be a positive or a negative experience. And forgive me because I still have this cough that I'm trying to get rid of. But anyway, effective forecasting is not necessarily just negative. I don't want you to think that it's a negative thing. Effective forecasting is basically determining if you want to go somewhere and how you think you'll feel after you go. Okay, so let me just keep it all the way 100 with you guys. A lot of the time, when I'm asked to go places or do things, I do sit back now and think about the person who's invited me, the environment that I will be in, if there'll be people there I like, if there'll be people there I don't like, if it's going to cause me any stress, if it's going to cause me any anxiety, if it's going to cause me to act out of my character, because if someone's there that I don't like and they say or do something that I don't like and I'm in a bad mood, it could cause the event to go sideways. So I have started to use effective forecasting prior to going to things to say, is this going to be something that is going to benefit me, or is this going to be something that's going to be harmful to my environment or toxic to my life when I'm trying to avoid that? So really, the best thing for you to do with effective forecasting is to use it to your advantage. You have to determine if going places and being around certain people is going to benefit you, if it's going to hinder you, if it's going to make you happy, if it's going to make you sad, if it's going to make you frustrated, if it's going to overwhelm you. If you are always going around people and you feel drained, then maybe you are not going around the right people, and you should be actively using effective forecasting to say, do I need to go to this event? Is that this important? Or do I need to stay back and do something else? Because mentally, I know if I go, it's going to be a ruckus. It's going to be a lot of drama. It's going to be a lot of, negativity. And right now in my life, I'm aiming for positive things. It's not bad to do that. The only thing that could be you could be hesitant about is you really don't know how things are going to turn out. You might think something's going to be negative and it might be positive, but what you're doing in your mind is playing back all of those things and events with those people prior to, and kind of relating those feelings like, do I need to be here? Is this someplace I really should be going? Affective forecasting is a great way for you to kind of sit down and run a playbook in your head about determining where you want to go and why. If people can't respect the fact that you don't want to be around negativity, then that's on them. If people can't respect the fact that you are trying your best to do your best and not hurt anybody because you don't want to be disrespectful, you don't want to be negative, you don't want to sit and gossip, you don't want to do certain things that certain people may do, then that's their problem, not yours. You have to do what's best for you. There are events that I would have loved to have gone to, but I didn't because I knew certain people would be there and I didn't want to put myself in that mindset. I am in a place right now where I'm building on positivity. I'm building on mindsets where women want to help other women, where, I'm dealing with people who want to inspire and motivate, not tear down, bash, and be negative too. So if people don't understand that I don't want to go somewhere where those things are going to be happening, that's their problem, not mine. Just like it's their problem, not yours. So with that being said, really take some time, and as you have events coming up or occasions where people are gathering, or you're being invited to social events and networking or whatnot, put yourself in the mindset to use affective forecasting and think, is this going to benefit me? Is this going to hinder me? Is this going to help me? Is this going to make me sad? Is this going to, enrich my life where I'm gaining something? And even if it's not, even if it's just you going and hanging out with friends, are those friends the people you want to give that energy to? Or are you going to be sitting there thinking, I could be laying in my bed watching a movie and relaxing over this? Like, put your mind at ease and understand that everything is not going to always be as you forecasted it. You could think that something's negative and it could be positive, or you could think something's positive and it turns out a little haywire. But at the end of the day, run it through your mind so that you know how to handle the situation as it arises before you go to things. Start using affective forecasting to really determine where you're putting yourself and who you're putting yourself around. Okay. All right. Thank you everybody for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful weekend.